Can you maybe summarize the core points that why it is so important to have in real life experience for Web3 in terms of all different kind of categories, right? NFT, DeFi, gaming, metaverse.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we've never onboarded people in the history of mankind without in real life. So we're trying to do something we've never done before, and it hasn't really been working. You know, if you look at the NFT market, as far as users, it's very stagnant. Metaverse market, users very stagnant. We had a lot of excitement last year and the year before, and a lot of the really smart people figured it out. And then I think a lot of the smart people said, okay, let me just wait for this to innovate a little bit more before I come back to it. But well, it's actually an easy thing to answer. We've never done it before in history without stores. So why would this work? It's a way more complicated technology than Web 1. Web 1, you buy the box, you read the instructions, and you've got a computer, and you know and you roughly know how to use it. Web 3, we can't send somebody home and say figure it out with instructions. It's too complicated right now, and there's too many duplicates, there's too many fakes, there's too many bad actors out there. So it honestly, we can make a very strong case that it needs IRL more than anything. We've done some really thorough research and data. We found that the total Web3 market to be about a $13 trillion market over the next 8 years through 2030, and the IRL piece of it to be about $2 trillion. So $2 trillion is a big number. Big number. We feel like the stores piece of that will be at least half, and we feel like we have a very good head start to be a big piece of that market.
Right. You guys are the first.
We're the first.
Yes.
And we're going to do everything we can to stay in first place, including avoiding the pitfalls of other companies that get past. We study them heavily.
Do you think Web3 is going to be for everyone?
Absolutely. Think about loyalty programs of the future. Every company in the world has a loyalty program. Those, I think they'll definitely all be token gated. NFTs give you the ability to do a loyalty program combining multiple companies that regular Web 2 you can't do that in Web 2.
Right.
But because of missions and smart contracts in the blockchain, you could say, okay, go to Starbucks, then go to Nordstrom, then come back in here and get 10% off all three. And so just with loyalty programs alone, and we know Starbucks is rolling something out.
Right.
We've talked with at least 10 Fortune 500 companies in the last 2 weeks that are all working on major strategy. So I certainly think everyone will do it, and I think just from a banking perspective, everyone will do it. You really should build a Web3 company differently. Like this is a great example. Our Genesis NFTs, they're going to own wall space forever in our New York store. That's not possible in Web 2 or Web 1. Nobody ever thought that way. You know, if you're Louis Vuitton, would you ever let me go and sell my clothing in their store, or my jewelry in Tiffany? They would never do that, or my electronics in Apple. But us as a Web3 business, from the very beginning, we said we're going to be decentralized.
Right.
And so what does that mean for retail? What it means is they control that, I don't. So they could sell digital assets with a QR code. I can't change what's in there. If I do an event and I take over this wall, I have to pay them or give them something else because they own that. They can walk in like an owner. They can feel proud like an owner. As we grow, these are going to become more and more valuable.
Right.
Because they have access to new cities, first access before anyone else. And so I really believe if you're going to be able to build a Web3 company like we did with Floki, you have to empower people. They have to feel like they're in control of what's going on. And we're trying to partner with companies, not as much like Meta, but more on the decentralized side that understand that. And that's what's going to help you grow, because like for us, we have someone asked me yesterday, how many employees do you have? Well, we have 16 employees currently. But we have about 110 holders of these NFTs. So we actually have 126 employees, really. We have 126 people that are excited about us, that are helping us, that are sending us business, that are closing deals for us. So you can really become big fast. You know, I always say I don't deserve to be in this situation as the CEO of the #1 Web3 store in the world, and the kind of revenue we've done, it's unbelievable.
Right.
We've already made more money than our neighbors, and we've just been here 2-3 months, you know. And more money than they'll make their whole year, you know.
Yeah.
So it's incredible what we've been able to do here. And it's only possible because it's decentralized, because these people are helping us. And as a community together, we're gonna grow. And guess what? I don't need to hold 100%. I don't need to own 100% of these. You know, Corey, my co-founder, doesn't need to, our other investors. There's plenty of room to go around.
Right.
Do we need people worth 100, 200 billion dollars? Not really. They would, you know, data says they'd be just as happy being worth 1 billion or 500 million.
Oh, you're talking about the happiness curve or whatever.
Yeah, I mean the happiness curve, what does it say? You need to make 80,000 a year, Harvard study. Everything after that, you start to go down. So I think it's exciting to make a lot of money, but there's more to Web3 than making a lot of money. The community part of it is where a lot of this happiness happens. I mean, we have people in Floki just hanging out still. Just their best friends are in the chat. They have private group chats, there's private groups that have spun off. People have different rarities with NFTs and things like that. This community aspect is incredible. We have a generation that is the most anxious, the most depressed generation of all time. And Web3 is fixing a lot of that because it's bringing people together again. And so these are bigger things than just making money. It's bigger than just technology. Web3 has the ability to either be worse than Facebook and Twitter and Instagram or better. I think it's going to be better. I really do, for a lot of reasons. I think it's going to be better.